race on my haunted highway. 2 monster trucks. Prepare yourselves. My evil eye is out to
Hi, I'm Dr. Dreadful, and this is the Dr. Dreadful Food Lab. Makes lots of gross things, and then you eat them.
Our top story on this Nocturne's Eve, ganger warfare is heating up across the East Quadrant as civilian casualties continue to mount. What you need to know if you value your life. We'll be checking in with our correspondent 𝙉𝙀𝙒𝙒𝙒, who's been helping to decorate 𝙉𝙀𝙬𝙜 Central Plaza. Nocturne's Eve, how well do you know the story of the holiday? And soaring tuition prices at Miskatonic University have some sector students asking, is a college education really worth it in today's phantasma? And more tonight, this is the Nightly News. From the 𝙉𝙀𝙬𝙜 Central Plaza in Megatropolis 8, this is the GPN Nightly News with Cassio Coppercoil. Good evening, I'm Cassio Coppercoil. Starting on a ghoulish note tonight, several players at the Sector 8 Deckers report that a ghost has been hitting their showers.
The cycloball season is in full swing, but here at 𝙤𝙬𝙤𝙤 Stadium, 𝙉𝙞𝙂𝙒 says he's seen a ghost.
Yeah, I was heading to the showers after practice, and everyone else had already gone. I turned, and there it was, standing in the middle of the locker room. This figure made out of, I don't know, computer code or something?
What did you do?
I hauled ass the out of there. That's what I did.
This isn't the first time something spooky has happened at the Decker Stadium. As some players say, this kind of thing happens all the time. All pro snatchers Asante Lucari and Vicino Quillas both claim to have witnessed similar happenings last Nocturne's Eve.
First of all, the ghost is a she.
Oh, here you go again.
Bro, I swear she came back to life just to watch me soak these abs up.
Man, ain't no ghost girl trying to see your abs.
And ain't no real girls trying to see you,
Quillis.
I'm here in the Deckers locker room at 𝙤𝙬𝙤𝙒 Stadium, as the apparition is said to be visible to those lingering long after lights out. But so far, the only thing this reporter can confirm for sure is that she shouldn't have worn high heels today. I'm Sandra Silverstone. Back to you in the studio. Wait, what? Ah!
Had some interference there, but thank you, Sandra. When we return, which movies and games from planet Earth will get you in the Nocturne's mood? Our recommendations coming up. And 𝙉𝙀𝙒𝙒𝙒's been out in Central Plaza carving pepper gourds all night long. We'll check in on him next.
Ladies and gentlemen, we challenged hotshot shooter of the Sector 8 Deckers, 𝙉𝙞𝙜𝙒𝙒, to play the new handheld cycloball game from Pocket Power. What Dirk doesn't know is that inside each game is a thinking AI capable of executing pro-level moves. Dirk's got the ball, but that computer defense looks tough. He's charging up the middle. He shoots. No good. Another drive. Dirk gets the ball. He's racing up the sidelines now. He shoots, and he scores! New handheld electronic cycloball, featuring our pro player AI from Pocket Power.
With Nocturne's Eve descending upon all phantasma, some sector communities are feeling more festive than others. For upcoming Nocturne's night festivities, we now take you live to outside our studio here in historic 𝙉𝙀𝙬𝙜 Central Plaza.
Cassio, I'm standing here in historic 𝙉𝙀𝙜 Central Plaza, where volunteers from activist group GP Freedom have been hard at work preparing for this year's Nocturne Night Procession. Just who's donning the mantle of Nocturne in this year's parade is anybody's guess, but from neon filament tinsel to freshly carved Nocto glows in the windows across the square, it's clear that at least in Sector 8, Nocturne's fever is in the air. Back to you.
It certainly does look that way. Stellar reporting as always from 𝙉𝙀𝙒𝙒𝙒. But for those remaining indoors this Nocturnes, there remains a burning question, and it's not what sweets to leave out for the Nocturne knockers, But just what to tune to on the holovid on these 3 spookiest nights of the year? Here to give us the lowdown on what Earth media is worth your time this weekend is remote Earth correspondent 𝙉𝙀𝙒𝙎.
Hey.
Welcome to the broadcast, Mr. Icer. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thanks for having me, Cassio.
And how's the South Quadrant?
You know the South Side, never a dull moment.
I recall. So, Frost, what should sector citizens be looking out for on the Ghost channels this weekend?
This weekend, Channel 3's doing an all-Earth marathon, starting with back-to-back episodes of Goosebumps at noon, followed by 2 hours of Are You Afraid of the Dark, and ending with an hour of The Twilight Zone.
Sounds like a great time for little ones stuck indoors.
Right, but have an adult nearby, kids, because these are some spook-filled episodes.
How about Earth-made feature films?
There are some killer options. Channel 5 has 3 Earth classics starting appropriately at 5 p.m. sector time. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Halloween. Don't miss those, GP. Then there's Channel 6, which has an edgier lineup. The Blair Witch Project, Event Horizon, and John Carpenter's The Thing. Then there's my go-to, Channel 9, which has exclusive rights to broadcast The Fly, They Live, and Alien, all starting at 3, Cassio.
Sounds like a fantastic weekend for Earth Cinema, Frost. I believe you're the man to tell me what Earth-born video games our savvy SpectraNet users can find for download this weekend.
Thought you'd never ask, chummer. If you've got 88 fingers and can get around all the firewalls and ICE programs, then there are some gems from Earth available online. This bot's all-time fave, Resident Evil 2, is here at last, Cassio. But also in the hall this week are Silent Hill, Eternal Darkness, Half-Life, and System Shock 2. These horror classics won't be here for long, though, so hurry to your loggers and get those downloads started, gamers.
There you have it, folks. Plenty of entertainment from Earth available if you're opting to stay inside on Nocturne's night. 𝙉𝙀𝙒𝙎, thank you once again for joining us. You're watching GP Nightly News.
Come in.
Morning, Uncle Eddie. I've crunched the numbers, sir. And if we cut just a few corners, we can make this a record year for Eddie's Pizza.
And just what corners would we be cutting, Wendell?
It's the cheese, sir. Our famous Scooter Gouda is simply too costly to the bottom line. The shareholders agree. But if we can start buying the aged cheese from Sector 3...
Old cheese.
Aged cheese, sir?
Old cheese on my pizza?
Sir, please, the shareholders...
The shareholders can kiss my Gouda ass. You said corners, Wendell, not cornerstones. Now get back to your desk, recrunch the damn numbers, and don't come back until our award-winning cheese is the #1 priority on your shitty little list.
You're turning red, sir.
Get the hell out of my office, Wendell. Hi, I'm Uncle Eddie of Uncle Eddie's Pizza. And here at my Earth-style pizzeria, you'll get only the freshest ingredients. Our bottom line be damned. And our Gouda cheese? Mwah, out of this world. So come on down to Uncle Eddie's and try my pizza. It's delicious.
We build all of sector space, from wall to wall, breaking our backs and welding you a new future out of a shattered past. We're there beneath your feet each day, outside your office and inside your home. We are Phantasma-made steel, and we're still going strong. Song-Steel Industries remains the #1 ecto-steel manufacturer in all sector space for the 3rd cycle in a row. So, for your next construction project, choose the best. Choose Phantasma-made. Choose Song-Steel Industries.
News from the Megatropolis 8 school system tonight. 5 members of the graduating class at Central High engaged in a senior prank that involved lighting bags of excrement on fire, then laughing as Central staff rushed to put them out. When questioned on just where they got the idea, the group said, quote, "It came from an Earth movie." The 5 are now serving lengthy suspensions and are expected to attend their graduations from home. More protests at Miskatonic University tonight in response to yet another tuition increase. The USSR has vowed to get involved, citing wasteful spending, absurd staff salaries, and courses like underwater astronomy as the root cause of this newest hike. It's unclear what changes a Republic-run Miskatonic would bring for its students, but as one female protester puts it, anyone would be better than the monsters in charge right now. Nocturnes Eve is upon us again. Each year, the holiday brings us 3 days of night during which we put on costumes, pull pranks on one another, and go door-to-door nocturne knocking for candy. But what about the deeper meanings behind this old 𝙉𝙀𝙒 festival? Here's head of the Lore Masters Union, John Sinclair, with a special report on Nocturnes Eve.
It's that magical time of year. The leaves start to brown, the breeze grows crisp, and the streets fill with little ghouls and goblins. But in all the spooky celebration, it's easy to forget the reason for the season. For the costumes and the masks, for the macabre decorations, and the consumption of sugary treats. It all comes back to the 𝙁𝙗𝙒 Church and its 13th astral saint, Nocturne. Nocturnes Eve is a 3-day observation of Saint Nocturne held from October 29th to October 31st each year in Phantasma. A 𝙉𝙀𝙒 and therefore elven ritual. It is widely celebrated by all Tasman races in sector space. Despite dark deeds done on the eve itself, Voxians have nevertheless endorsed this veneration of Saint Nocturnes for generations. One of the first disciples of the Maker, Nocturne, patron saint of the spurned and the outcast, tampered with the architect's divine machine, the Solus Lux Orbis. According to the Orthodox Church, it's this sabotage that brings about the 3 days of eternal night we experience each year. One of the great works of the architect, the Solus Lux Orbis acts to filter in just the right amount of sunlight to cultivate life. The Church insists the Lux Orbis nourishes us even now. But the Science Enclave of the USSR heavily dispute this. Banished from the early Radiant Empire for his actions, Saint Nocturne departed to settle lands of his own. But the long-held belief is that on the 3 darkest nights of the cycle, Nocturne returns to Phantasma, garbed in disguise to test the compassion of Vox's mortal beings. So, to demonstrate our hospitality, we decorate our sectors in dark decor. We encourage the donning of masks and colorful costumes, and all to welcome the 13th saint home. Nocturne knocking, calling at doors and declaring, "I am Nocturne," is a game passed on to our children. The reward's sweet indeed. Then there's the carving of ripe peppo gourds into eerie green noctoglows, meant to light Nocturne's way through our streets. The 𝙉𝙀𝙒 tradition of Nocturnes Eve remains rich and enduring to beings of all ages. So while celebrating this Nocturnes night, take time out to teach little ones of the outcast saint, and instill in them the generosity, kindness, and hospitality that the occasion calls for.
For the Lore Masters Union and GPN News, I'm John Sinclair. Thank you, Director Sinclair, for that special report. Ending on our top story tonight, reports of ganger shootouts are on the rise across the East Quadrant, with the number of bystanders caught in the crossfire approaching pre-liberation percentages. Neo Spectre officers are no longer responding to calls to the area, as Spectre Chief Celio has stated that he is unwilling to send officers deeper into the quadrant for fear of escalating the gang war. This leaves the streets surrounding the Spade Chemicals building essentially lawless. But dangerous alliances continue to emerge from the chaos in the East Side. The Card Gang, 21 Boys, Dice Crew, and Hearts Gang announcing the formation of a deadly new triad this morning, the Shuffle Alliance. A spree of murders, robberies, and arsons, all attributed to this Shuffle Alliance, threaten to overwhelm Quadrant law enforcement today. We urge you to avoid the East Quadrant. And that'll just about do it for us here at GPN Nightly News. We wish you one fright-filled Nocturnes Eve weekend. Be safe, wear your respirator masks if you plan to be out in a large gathering, and steer clear of the Eastern Quadrant until the darkness lifts. From GPN News headquarters in Lambda Central Plaza, I'm Cassio Coppercoil. Good night.